Okay, so today we're going to talk about bridge construction. So, bridge actually is a structure built to span a physical obstacle, such a body of something, for example, body of water, a valley, roads, and actually without closing the way under the knees. So it is very important for bridges. It is constructed for purpose of providing passage over the obstacle. Usually, something that otherwise difficult or to just impossible to cross. So there are many different designs that each serve a particular purpose and apply different situations. Designs of bridges vary depending on firstly function of bridge, also the nature of the terrain, so the territory of the near to the construction or in the construction, and the material to make it, and also funds available to build it. So the funds can be like own private and also from the local budgets and government. Bridges can be categorized in the several, so in different ways. Common categories of the um, which includes the type of structural elements used by carrying out, whether they are can be fixed or movable, um, and also by the materials they are used. So bridges can be classified by the actions of tension, compression, bending, torsion, and shear. So through distributed through the structure. And actually, if we'll say about the types, we can say that there can be found beam bridge, cantilever bridge, arch bridge, suspension bridge, cable stayed bridge, and the truss bridge. Um, Most bridges will employ all of the forces at the moment. Um, Actually, in other cases, the forces may be distributed among the large number of members, for example, as in the truss bridge. If we will talk about materials which are used to construct the bridge, um, there are also some categories. So until, for example, 18th century, bridges was made from the simple materials like stone, masonry, timber bridges, and so on. But nowadays, modern bridges are currently built by using the modern materials and more durable materials like concrete, steel, fiber reinforced material, fiber reinforced polymers, um, stainless steel, or sometimes, really became popular using the combinations of the material. So when they are used not only one type, but several types in combination. Um, Okay, next. So the bridge also can be categorized by what they are designed to carry out, such as, for example, for trains, for pedestrian purposes, road traffics, um, barge traffics, and so on. So actually many purposes. There are many years ago and some places nowadays are popular and was popular aqueducts. So it is a bridge uh, which carries water from one place to another place. Um, so resembling a viaduct. So viaduct is a bridge that connects the points of equal height. So a road rail bridge carries both road and rail traffic, for example. So overway is a term for bridge that separates um, the interesting traffic. So when there are interaction of the traffic jams. So especially like road and rail, for example. Some bridges can accommodate other purposes, such examples, some examples in the Europe, like Novi Bridge in the Bratislava. So there are there can be find many features of that bridge that it is a restaurant bridge. So actually some bridges, especially suspension bridges, carry transmission antennas, for example. Uh, so bridge also can are horizontal, supported at each end by the superstructure, call it fixed bridge. So other bridge which can be simply supported. So when there are two parts, two ends of the bridge are free. Um, when the beams only connect across a single span or continuous span, so in that case, beams are connected across two or more spans. So when there are multiply spans through the intermediate supporting points, so it is a well-known bridge collars like piers. So let's talking about types, maybe not types, components, it will be right, components of the bridge. So the most important it is piers. So piers provide, like I told before, the intermediate support between two bridge spans. So the bridge piers mainly support the bridge superstructure elements and transfer the load to the foundation. In general, piers must be strong enough um, to handle the horizontal loads as well like the lateral loads. Um, Piers also known like the compression members. So because most of all, it's accept all compression loads from the bridges. Bearing, um, bearing is provide between bridge and the guider and the pier cap. So the main function of bearing to allow free movement um, or vibration, for example, if there are actually most of bridges accept dynamic load. So there can be vibration of the top of the structure and reduce the effect stress to um, bridge foundation. Next, it is wing walls, like you see on the down picture in the right part, wing walls. The wing walls is one of the retaining walls in the bridge. So what does it mean retaining walls? You know, the retaining walls can be inclined, a vertical construction, which supports the ground pressure. So they are located adjacent to the abutment and acts as retaining wall. Um, in general, wing walls retains soil to abutment, roadway, approach embankment, which can be right angled to the abutment or spread at different angles. Uh, Railing. So railing is most of all called that part of the bridge for vehicle travel. It can be made from various materials, and most of popular two types of the material is bituminous and the concrete. Um, Abutment. So last one, abutment. Abutment is the structure mostly used for bridge and dams as a substructure of the construction. So at the ends of the bridge span or dam, on the superstructure is rest. So bridge with a single span has two abutments. So single span, so the span of the bridge supported by two abutments. And actually they transfer the vertical and the lateral loads on it and so. It also plays the role of retaining wall with the purpose to resist lateral movement of the earthen field of bridge approach. Basic bridge types. So if we'll talking about types of the bridge, there are really many different types, but also we can distinguish from all types the main types, like beam bridge or guide bridge, arch bridge, truss, cable stayed bridge, and the suspension bridge. So all of these types has its own characteristics with its own lengths, um, preferred materials, and so on. So each of these types will be discussed by us separately. So in the modern time, beam bridge or guider bridge can range from the small wooden beams to large steel boxes, like you see on the left part of the screen. The vertical force on the bridge becomes a shear and the flexural load on beach, and the transfer down in the less in the length of superstructure. They are typically can be made of the steel and the concrete, but sometimes also can be found the variants of timber beams, which are used for bridges. Guide bridges, plate guide bridges, also or usually made of the steel. Box guide bridges made from the steel concrete. So, and if we'll talk about the length of that bridge, so you see that there can be various lengths, but the most rarely used length for such bridge, it is about 100 meters and not more. But sometimes, as you see, can be found a really huge dimensions of the span. Next one, it is arch bridge. So arch bridges have abutment, especially on each of the ends. So through that abutment, arch bridge transmits the vertical and the horizontal load on it. Yes. So the purpose of the abutment I told you previously. The earliest known arch bridge were built by the Greeks, and through the time, the arch bridges became just only more popular according to the effective length with the less opportunity use of material and higher rigidity and the higher durability of the arch bridge. The length of the arch bridge is also can be really huge. And so there are several examples according to the length of some bridges. Next one, truss bridge. So truss bridge is a bridge whose loading bearing superstructure is composed of a truss. So the truss is a bearing construction for the truss bridge. Um, the truss is connected, so the structure of bridge connected elements forming in the triangular shapes. So as you see on the highest picture. Um, the connected elements may be stressed by tension, compression, sometimes both of them, and it responds also to dynamic loads. Truss bridge, in my appearance, one of the oldest types of the modern bridges. So, because it became a really popular and have a simple design, which could be could be easily analyzed. Um, begin by the 19th and actually near to the 20th centuries by the just simple engineers with actually enough qualification. What else? Truss bridges also are economical in construction according to the efficient of use of materials. And there are some examples of the bridges or its length according to the most biggest span. between two abutments. Next one, cable stayed bridges. Cable stayed bridge. This bridge is like a suspension bridge, held up by the special designed cables. Um, Most of all, it is stay cables, actually steel cables, which are produced with the higher strength um, steel. However, in the cable stayed bridge, less cable is required. So, and the tower holding the cables are proportionally higher. So as you see, there are a special tower. Most of all, it is a concrete tower because it should be really massive and heavy to carry out the weights of the um, cable stayed bridge. But according with the previous ones, we see that here is the biggest span which can be produced by the cable stayed bridge. So it can realize many different um, variants, configurations, and can span the huge place of river, for example, of some other obstacles. Next one, suspension, suspension bridge. So suspension bridge are suspended from the cables. So the earliest suspension bridge were made of ropes or vines, which was covered by the pieces of bamboo. Yes. So in modern bridges, the cables actually hang from tower that are attached to some caissons or cofferdams, which are located beneath the water size. The caissons and the cofferdams are implanted deep into the bed of the lake, so water place, lake, river, sea, and so on. So subtypes include a simple suspension bridge, um, stressed ribbon bridge, um, with a self-anchored suspension bridge and so on. So there are many examples. This is the bridge with the most long span which can be constructed nowadays. So it's a peak of engineering design solutions for nowadays. So it is suspension bridges. As you see, the length in some cases can be really huge, so more than several kilometers in the long span. And when we discussed about bridge, there are also important part to understand what does it mean culverts. So the culverts are a bit of anomaly in the structural world. It carries various load types, pedestrian, um, for cattle across a body of water, for some specification with similar to the bridges. So, however, culverts actually consider it not like a bridge because they are usually um, do not exceed more than 20 feet. So steel bridge and the culverts share the common functionalities So besides the length, what else determine a bridge or culvert? By the definition, culvert is a drainage in the or which passes through the roadway, acting like a tunnel inside the bridge. So we are already finished information about the bridge. Um, what do you think about it? Maybe you have some questions because we have about 5 minutes. So it will be good time to maybe answer some questions if you have. Like an I-beam, guided beam consists of the flanges, two flanges and two webs. So it's the most popular section for guided bridges. If the I-beam accepted in the simple construction, so the box guiders, box beam is applied for the bridge construction. Okay, no questions.
No question.
Okay, thank you very much.